Welcome to Submit the Ticket, episode insert
variable here.
Insert a number. Today we're going to talk a little bit about
What's an SOP?
exactly what's an SOP. Why do I even need them for my business?
Great question.
Here's a scenario. I buy a new laptop for one of my workers that are in shipping. And I walk in there and I hand them a box and said, hey,
There you go.
Billy Joe Bob, here's your brand new computer. Good luck.
And I'm Billy Joe Bob, and I'm like, but it doesn't have any of my applications. Where's my data? Where's, you didn't import my favorites. There's all sorts of customization that needs to be moved over before the computer could actually be useful.
So what if we had 20 Billy Joe Bobs all in shipping or receiving? And we're all getting new computers, right?
And then your standard operating procedure could come into effect because you could be like, okay, well, all 20 need, UPS World Ship and FedEx shipping software and printers and zebra labels and whatever.
Scanners.
Then at least you would know, and hopefully the idea is you could repeat the process.
Right.
You're not reinventing the wheel for 20 computers.
Right.
Do it for one.
So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to create a standard process for implementing a PC, right? Whether it's a laptop, a PC, we can create different SOPs depending on use case.
Sure.
Right? But defining that process, following the same process over and over again, that's going to allow us to do what, right? Maintain a baseline.
Sure.
Be more efficient, to make sure people actually don't have the downtime of waiting on me to get their computer upgraded or reinstalled because I forgot how to install their programs or what programs they even needed.
Yeah.
Right? Take that a step further. What about hiring and firing?
Yeah. No, I mean, you should have a checklist of, did I get the keys back? Did I get my prox card back? Did I remove them from the payroll database? I mean, there's a million other things that I'm missing on that. And, to your point earlier, we can make these SOPs as simple or complicated as you want. From the complicated end, maybe I automate everything, use like Microsoft Autopilot, Intune, or some sort of imaging process to have them, where I can send the user the box and they can push the button and all their stuff's there. Or on the low-tech end, maybe you just write it all down in a notepad or a Word doc. That at least is something. You've at least captured, I need this to make this machine work.
Yeah, so a good place to start is actually define what you need, right?
Sure.
Like what are the processes that we need in our business, right? From onboarding new employees, offboarding employees, implementing new technology, upgrading computers, maybe I need to do the same spreadsheet report every quarter, right? So I need to follow the same process, document that, put that out somewhere so it can be repeatable. If I break my leg and I can't come into work and, if I broke my leg, I couldn't type, right? So you better be able.
You type a lot with your feet.
That's right. Yeah. So that's probably not a good example, but being able to have things documented so someone else can step into your role and at least help alleviate some of that pressure and smooth things out while you're gone.
Yeah, that's definitely critical. A good point when you get a new piece of equipment or a new employee. I like when we get new employees because they flesh out a lot of the faults in our documentation. Like, hey, I saw this and it hasn't been updated in 3 years. Okay, well, all of the people who are here and working on it every day, we know, but we do need to update our documentation, and you're right. We haven't used that system for 3 years.
Yeah.
So when you get a new person or a new piece of equipment, you might install all the apps that you had in your SOP, and oh crap, there's this one hidden one that we didn't know was critical.
Yeah, so your SOPs are a living document.
It is, and you need to spend the time and keep them up to date.
Revisit them, make sure that the steps are accurate, add in new steps or remove old steps that don't need to be there. What else? What else is there? It's the worst thing I've ever had to do in my life. Jason, how do you do this? I don't know, I just do it. Well, that's not a good example, right? That's not a good answer, I should say. It's an excellent example of what you should not do, right? Jason, what happens when someone does this? Well, I don't know, I just know. Well, that doesn't do you any good if I go on vacation and you're the person that's expected to take over my role.
Correct.
Right, so step by step, even
if you have it in the SOP, going back to our permission stock of before, okay, well, Jason has the most perfect SOP and Scott has never been granted permissions to the sales side of tech data or whatever.
Yeah, some vendor.
Something.
Some vendor.
Yeah.
So let's segue into something that that can help with this, and it is a Microsoft product called Microsoft Teams. Oh, everybody loves Teams. But you can record all your Teams meetings. If I'm training you on how to do my job,
sure,
we can chop that up into segments, and then we can record it step by step as I'm going through and how I do it. And it will also create a script for you. Right, so now we've got the audio, the video, and the transcript in writing. So work smarter, not harder. Thumbs up for Microsoft 365 sometimes.
Sometimes.
I hate the new Outlook. Don't give me the new Outlook.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Hit the slider, turn it back to the old version if you can.
Classic, all the way.
Yeah, classic Outlook. This has been episode 2700.
Submit the ticket. You are?
I'm Jason Horn, and this is Scott Deal. This has been a pleasure and a curse to be so
Fair enough.
attractive and intelligent.
We'll end it on that.